Okay, so welcome to our video on Edpuzzle. The first thing you're going to want to do is click sign up if you haven't before, and just sign up using your Google account, particularly your Google for Education account. I've already done that, so I'm going to log in as a teacher here, log in with Google, and here I am logged in. And so you'll see straight away, I have a whole bunch of classes down the left-hand side here. And these classes are automatically imported from Google Classroom. So in order to add your classrooms, you just scroll down to the bottom here, and you'll see here it says import from Google Classroom. You click on that. It'll then ask you to please select the classes you want to import. You select the ones that you want. So you might be co-teaching a class that you're not going to be doing this for. So for example, I haven't imported my English classes or any of those. So you can import your classes like that. Then you click import. Let's say that I want to import work studies as well, so it actually does something for us. Click import, and that will add all of our new students and that new class for us, and that will be connected. Okay, so students won't have to, when they come to look at the videos, won't need to sign up. They just log in with their school Google account, and that will give them automatic access to their classroom that's on Edpuzzle. So the first thing I want to do is take you up here and go to, let's go search. In search, you can find videos from multiple websites. So down the left-hand side here, I can click Edpuzzle, and that will bring up all the videos that are already in Edpuzzle. They'll bring up all the videos that people have already put questions over the top of, or comments and all that kind of stuff. So these are ones people have already edited. You can have a look at it by clicking play, and then you can also click use it if you want to, or make a copy if you would like to do that. You can also search throughout YouTube for a video and then edit it yourself. You can go to the Khan Academy, National Geographic, TED Talks, Vimeo. So there's lots of different places here where you can grab your videos from. I'm going to use a YouTube video, maybe one that I've done. So let's see if I can find energy systems for TeachersPD, which is one of our lovely things. So here's a video that I would like to use. I'm going to click use it. I've seen this video before, so I know exactly what I want to do. Now this brings me into the editor. So the first thing that it's going to give me a choice to do is to edit my video, so I can choose where it starts and where it finishes. So with this video, I know that the introduction to the video actually has like an intro for pdhp.net, and so I will just edit where that begins so that it gets rid of that intro, so the students are wasting their time there, and it also has an outro, so let's just edit that too. Okay, so that's just cropping it. Okay, and that's my scissors up here to crop where it begins and where it ends. The next thing that you can do is you can add an audio track if you want. So if you want to add you talking the whole way through the video, you can do that. Or if you want to add music in the background, you can do that as well. Okay, I don't normally use audio very much. What I might use is more audio notes. So an audio note is that once I start watching this video, if I get to a particular section of the video that I think needs further explanation, I would press this recording button and I would allow it to use my microphone. And then I'm going to talk, and it's going to record what I'm saying, and it's going to go straight into this spot. And I'm going to click stop. And then that video, I can say remove all new notes, or remove the last note and re-record it if I want to. And then I can move on. Okay, and I do another one. So I can click further up here. So there's my one that's there, and I can do another one and put in some more explanation, stop, and that will go in there. Now, the other thing that you can do on top of your video is add questions. So the questions allow you to essentially, as the students are watching, if they get to here and I want to check that they were paying attention, I'm going to click the green button, and that then allows me to add an open-ended question like this. I can add a multiple choice question, or I can even just add a textual comment. So I could say, you know, pay attention to how long they last, for example. Okay, I then click save, and that's there for the students once they get there. I can do another one here. I would like, where I'm going to add another question. I'm going to click the button. That brings up my question. So for an open-ended question, I might say, how do the energy systems work together, right? And as my students then go around answering that question, I can actually click this little button here that flips it over to feedback. So on the other side of my question, I can say something like the lactic acid system starts with movement. Okay, and I can give them more detail than that, obviously, but you can give them feedback to the answer that they've provided, and you click save, and that's also in there. I can do a similar thing with my multiple choice. I can click here, go to multiple choice, and if I want to put a multiple choice question in, you just tick the one that's right. The other ones are incorrect. You can add more answers if you like, and on each of these answers, there's feedback. So if they get it right, for example, I could go to my feedback, and I might put an image in there that I want to upload, or I might use an URL where it just says congratulations. So it might be like a GIF or something like that. Or I can just say, you know, well done for when they get it right. Okay, and whatever my question is. Okay, so question. And then I'm just going to click save, and that goes in there. It'll probably tell me that I've left these things blank and I need to put something in here. Oops, get rid of that one. Okay, and then save. And my students can then answer those as they go, and that's what it's going to look like for my students. You have the question here and then check boxes down here. Now you would have noticed if I click edit here, that in the question section I can add video. I can add an image. I can add a link to another site. So if I say at a particular point in the video, I want the students to actually go and visit another website, have a look at some information there and come back to answer this question, you can do that as well. And you can also insert equations for those of you who are maths teachers. Okay, so this is a really good tool essentially for making sure that your students watch your videos and you can gather information from this. So if I'm flipping my lesson, I'll have my students watch the video in Edpuzzle before they come to my class, and I'm going to log into Edpuzzle before they come to class, and I'll show you what data it gives us. So I'm going to click save, okay, and that will then save this video for me, so everything is saved, and I click finish. Now when I click finish, it's going to ask me to assign it to a class. Okay, so I might, here you go, assign it to the Google Summit class with no due date. I can set a due date if I want to. Let's say it's due on the 31st of July, save. And that's the way I want it. I can set a release date as well if I want to, but let's just leave that like this. Public links, so if I want to share it publicly, I can just copy links, or I can embed the video into like a Google site or something if I would like to. Okay, let's say that, and I just click assign. And then my video will go into my classroom. So if I then click my classes, you'll see the Google Summit now has the Energy Systems video in there, and no one's watched it yet, which is perfectly fine. If I click on, let's say, my basketball class here, and you'll see that I have one video here that was due a while ago. Okay, and if I click on it, it'll then tell me who's watched it, how much they've watched, and how they went in the quiz. Okay, so these students were all meant to have watched this and have gotten 100% in the quiz. We've had a few new students join us, and so that's these ones here who have not quite finished it. Okay, so this will tell me how my students have gone. So before I go into my classroom, I can have a look who's watched the video, how did they go. Now, if there's one particular student that struggled in the quizzes, I can then click on it, and it will then tell me how much they watched, okay, which one they got correct, which one they didn't get correct. I can scroll down here, and you'll see here that it's got, he got that first question right, this one he got wrong, and then this one he got wrong as well. Okay, I can then click next student or previous student if I would like, but you can see here there's not really any color, it just has ones, right? So he's watched the video once the whole way through. Okay, if I go to a previous student, you'll see here he watched this section twice, and then this student didn't watch the last minute. Okay, so that just gives you some information in there around what the students are doing and how they're going. Otherwise, I can go back to my class, back to this assignment. I can also have a look by question. So this will tell me how many of my students got that question right, which will give me a quick indication of whether or not I need to reteach something once I go in. So this is the detail that I get from my videos. So my students will watch the video before they come to class, and then when they come in, before they come in, I'll have a look through how they've gone in terms of, is there a question across the class where they've really struggled, or is there a particular student that's particularly struggled? I'll help the particular student, particularly if they've watched the video a couple of times. And if there's a particular question that everyone got wrong, that will be what I address first with my class before we move on to our other activities. You can also do this live with your students. You can give them the video to watch during class time, and then you'll see on this the students will slowly progress along here. They'll start red like this, they'll turn orange and yellow and then green, and then their grade will also update as they complete it in your class. So you can actually see their progress in your classroom as well if you choose to watch it live that way. Furthermore to this, if you go up to your content up here, you have a constant store of all the videos you've ever edited, and so you can see here there's lots of videos here where I've done demonstrations like this, or where I've put questions and stuff over the top of videos. You can create new ones, you can upload your own. You can also create student projects. So if I click student project, basically what that means is that the student gets to create the video and put the questions and stuff over the top of it. So if I call this just project, tell them what the goal is, give them instructions for the video. You can give tags to it if you want to, and click Save Project. I'm going to assign it to the Google Summit thing, and assign. And then here I am, it's the project. And so when the students go in here, they're actually going to get these instructions on what to do. And basically they're going to create their own flipped video, like what we just did, where they can trim the beginning and end of it, put questions over the top or audio comments over the top of their video as well. Finally, the last bit that exists is the gradebook. Now the gradebook particularly is useful for us as teachers, and so you can see here, it comes up with each video that is given to the students and their total score overall. And so as they do more and more videos in here, you can see this class hasn't done many. I don't teach this class. But as they do more and more videos, they go into the gradebook. Now the gradebook is actually normally a paid feature of Edpuzzle. So if you get your school to sign up, they might choose to pay to give you the gradebook as well. So you can see all the videos across a whole term or across the whole year for that class. The other option is for you to run like a professional development session around Edpuzzle and share it with Edpuzzle that that's what you've done, and then they will give it to you for free, which is what I did. That's it for our introduction then to Edpuzzle. So I'd love to see you give it a go.